to my YouTube channel at Akeem Ola. Today we have another question to solve, and the question is on exponential equation. Exponential equation. We are going to do justice to that now. But before we do that, I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch and subscribe. Don't just watch alone. Watch and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Akimola. You can also like and share my video. I will appreciate if you can do all this for me. Now let's go solving the question on the board. We have a question: 36 raised to the power of x minus 30 raised to the power of x is equal to 25x. Find else. This equation looks somehow, but there will be a particular solution to this kind of a question. The first thing we need to do is to first make a certain term of this particular equation to be equal to 1. And it is best for us to make this one here to be equal to 1. So what I'm going to do here now is to divide through by 25 raised to power x. If I do that, I have here on the board solution. I have 36 to the power of x minus 30 to the power of x is equal to 25 to the power of x. I can divide through by 25 to the power of x. If I should do that, I will have 36x all over 25x minus 30x all over 25x is now equal to 25x all over 25x. Now, what will I do? As you can see, this one here we cancel. If that cancel, you will notice that we can simplify 36 and we can also simplify 25x. 36 is 6 raised to power 2, as in 6 times 6. Why 25 is 5 times 5, that is 5 raised to power 2. Then I'm going to break it down. If I should break it down, I will have 6 all over 5. If you notice, x is common to both sides. That means I can have my x here. Then I can now have my 2 outside. Then minus this one here will give us, in brackets, 6 times 5. That will give us 30. All over 5 times 5. Everything to the power of x is now equal to 1. So from here, 5 we cancel here. That means I'll be left with 6 all over 5 to the power of x, everything squared. The minus 6 all over 5x is now equal to 1. So from here, you will notice that 6 all over 5 raised to the power of x is common to both sides. And the equation here is somehow complex. I need to simplify the equation. How can I simplify the equation? For me to simplify this particular equation now, I am going to use a certain letter to represent 6 all over 5 raised to the power of x. If I should do that, I can have let p is equal to 6 all over 5, everything to the power of x. That means if I should do that, this equation will change. Everything here will change. I will now have p squared for the first one minus p is equal to 1. So moving everything to this side, I will have p squared minus p minus 1 is equal to 0. As you can see, this equation is now in form of a quadratic equation, of which we can factorize to solve it. So how can we factorize this particular equation? There are many ways of solving a quadratic equation. And the best method we can use to solve this particular equation on the board is by using the general quadratic formula. And for me to use the general quadratic formula, we need to compare the equation on the board with the general quadratic formula. So that general quadratic equation, so that we can get the value of a, b, and C. So comparing these with the general quadratic equation, we are going to have our A to be equal to 1. We have our B to be equal to minus 1. And we have our C to be equal to minus 1. So our P now will now be equal to, using that general quadratic formula, we have minus B all over B squared minus 4AC, everything all over 2A. So from here, we can now substitute. So our P now will now be, substituting all this value into this, I am going to have minus 1, then plus or minus, this one now will give us, what is our B? Our B is minus 1 squared, then minus 4 into A. What is our A? 1 minus 1, that is C. Everything all over 2A. So our P now will now be 1 plus or minus. This one here will give us 1. I have 1. Minus minus will give us plus. Then 4 times 1 will give us 4. That means I'm going to have the square root of 5 all over 2. Because our A is 1. So we have 2. That means I am going to have two values for my P. The first one we have, P will now be equal to 1 plus root 5 all over 2. Or 1 minus root 5 all over 2. This will be the values of my P. But when you are solving a question of this nature, we need the P value that we are going to get must be positive, not negative. And if you have a negative answer, you need to ignore the negative answer because you need a positive answer. Looking at these two solutions for our P, you will observe that the square root of 5 will be 2 point something. And 1 minus 2 point something will surely give us a negative answer. And that automatically disqualify this particular answer. So the answer we are going to stick with now will now be P to be equal to 1 plus root 5 all over 2. But if you check from the original question, P wasn't part of the question. We are the one that introduced P into this equation. So we need to go to the relationship between P and the S that was used in the original equation. So if you do that, you are going to have, we go back to where we have, let P is equal to 6 all over 5x. So I can now write that my P now will now be 6 all over 5 to the power of x is now equal to 1 plus root 5 all over 2. We have this. And from the question, we are asked to find x. And the only way we can find x here now is to consider the theory of log. So now we need to find the log of both sides. So I can write, take the log of both sides. Take the log of both sides. So if we should take the log of both sides, don't forget we are taking this log of both sides to base 10. So if you should take it down, we are going to have log 10 6 all over 5. Everything else is now equal to log 10 1 plus root 5 all over 2. So what will now be? What we are going to do here is our x will move to the back. So we have x log 10 6 all over 5 will now be equal to log 10 1 plus root 5 all over 2. So solving and getting the final answer there, we're going to have our x now to be equal to log 10 1 plus root 5 all over 2, everything all over log 10 6 all over 5. That is the value of our x. We are going to stop here for now. But before we go, don't still forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also like and share this particular video. You can like, share, you can even comment at the comment section of it. Thank you for watching. God bless you.